Hey guys, Nikki here, and we're going to have a conversation tonight about Michael Jackson and the Epstein files. Okay, Michael Jackson is in the Epstein files. Was anything incriminating mentioned about him in the Epstein files? No, it wasn't. Did he ever get a massage from any of those teenage girls? No, he didn't. Couple things on Michael Jackson. He doesn't like girls. He only predated on boys, little boys. That was his flavor. And let's qualify that with that doesn't make him gay because he's a rapist and a pederast, and that's got nothing to do with sex. Sex is about feeling good. It's mutual. It's consensual. It doesn't feel wrong emotionally, psychologically, physically. It doesn't hurt. But when you're 7 years old and being molested and raped and sexually assaulted by a man, yeah, that hurts in all kinds of ways, mentally, psychologically, physically, because the child is 7. Michael Jackson would have never gone to that island and done things in front of other people. And I learned that from watching Leaving Neverland with Wade Robson, choreographer to the stars, and the other guy whose name I unfortunately can never remember. I literally just looked it up and it went right out of my head. But he's a regular Joe. He wasn't a he. I think he was doing a little acting as a kid, but nothing major. He wasn't like Wade, who was going places. Basically, he's just a regular Joe. And this regular Joe and Wade tell their story on Leaving Neverland, and it's wretched. It's wretched. It's wretched to listen to, and it's heartbreaking to listen to the two of them tell their stories. And they are so credible and so believable. And now some of you might say, didn't Wade Robson testify for Michael Jackson in I think 2006 in another one of his cases? Yeah, he did. And he talks about that in Leaving Neverland. And he talks about how he wasn't ready to deal with his shit yet. And that despite Michael Jackson hurting him and sexually assaulting him, he still loved him, just like the other dude in Leaving Neverland still loved Michael Jackson. In fact, I think that kid thought he was and still thinks he's in love with Michael Jackson. That's because pederasts are manipulators and they play with your minds. And they create this thing between the victim and the perpetrator, and it confuses the victim, and especially when the victim is a child of 7 and you're being lied to by an adult and being told this is how you show love, and this is, yeah, sad. Sad. So I'm sorry that it actually, because I've watched Leaving Neverland and I just got kind of lost in what the two guys were saying in that documentary, and it took me away for a second because it's kind of traumatic watching that documentary. I've never had to deal with any kind of sexual assault in my life, and I'm so grateful for that. But even listening to other people's stories, it touches you. And if it doesn't touch you, I don't understand that. Michael Jackson would have never, ever done anything to any kid on that island in front of other people because Michael Jackson had a rep to protect. Because he's Peter Pan, right? He's fucking Peter Pan. I'm a kid forever. I'm going to be a kid. I'm going to live forever. Well, everything I know about Peter Pan is he's a monster. And he murders the Lost Boys when they get too old. And that kind of correlates with Michael Jackson, really. Because when the boys get too old, the rape got violent. He would withhold affection. He would punish the boys because now they're too old. 14, too old. That's why when Corey Feldman says his stupid shit about Michael Jackson never did anything to me, well, there's a twofold answer to that. First of all, Corey Feldman, you were too young when you met him. You were a teenager. So that's A. And B, Michael Jackson didn't mess with the famous kids. Those were his beards. Those were the kids who, if asked, did Michael Jackson do anything to you? They could legitimately say no. And who isn't going to believe Webster and Macaulay Culkin, Home Alone? Hmm? And I'm still not sure anything didn't happen between him and Macaulay Culkin. Because Macaulay Culkin was ripe for the picking, right? He's exactly what a pederast looks for. He had a horrible home life. His father was physically, emotionally, mentally abusive, stole his money, made him work too much. So much going on there with Macaulay Culkin. Perfect victim for a pederast to manipulate, to bring to their side. And I often wonder if Macaulay Culkin just will never say anything because he's Paris's godfather. And he just can't do that to her because Paris is kind of fragile. She's tried to commit suicide a couple of times since her father's death. So, and maybe Paris knows things, and it's hard for her to live with it. You know, we think kids don't see things, we think kids don't know things, and then later on we find out, oh shit, them kids knew everything. So, that's what I have to say about Corey Feldman. He was too old and he didn't touch the famous kids. I'm pretty certain. Not sure about Macaulay Culkin. And Michael Jackson was a very private person. So he would have never publicly done anything with any kid. Because he had to always look like Peter Pan. I love kids. I made a zoo and an amusement park and an arcade for all the children. I mean, that just sounds like a pederast trap, doesn't it? It sounds just like a pederast trap. Has everything a kid would want. A zoo, amusement park rides, all the treats and candy they can eat, a chef who will make you anything you want at any time of the day. You're hanging out with Michael Jackson, playing video games with Michael Jackson in bed. What kid wouldn't fucking fall for that? So yeah, that's why nothing of any kind of implication of him doing anything wrong is in the Epstein files. But he wasn't going to the Epstein Island and rescuing kids. Like, people are putting out these videos, these Delulus putting out these videos that Michael Jackson was going to the island to fucking save kids. If anything, he was buying boys from Epstein. And that is the most reasonable, logical explanation. And everybody who fucking defends Michael Jackson, you're no better than the people who fucking defend Trump, no better than people who defend anybody who's in the Epstein files, or the shit with Diddy, or R. Kelly, or Woody Allen, or Hugh Hefner, or Bill Cosby, or. You defend any of these people, you're disrespecting the victims. You're slapping them in the face. You're calling them a liar. Why would Wade risk everything to make a fucking documentary about Michael Jackson? He didn't even make the documentary. It's not his documentary. He just agreed to be in it, like the other dude agreed to be in it. It's not, he didn't make it. He's just in it. And he tells his story. And it's an awful story. And it's a heartbreaking story. And what happened to Wade was so fucked up that when he finally grew up, met a girl, got married, had a baby, his wife literally said to him, "You know how to love your son appropriately, right?" Meaning, you know that you cannot be sexual with your son, right? That's what she was asking him. And not because she didn't trust him, but she understands that people who are victimized, their brains get scrambled and they don't see things right anymore. And Wade had to tell her, yes, I understand how to love my son appropriately. He had to make her believe that. Why would somebody go in a documentary and let their wife say into a camera, I had to ask him if he knew how to love his kid appropriately? Why would anybody do that? That just hurts you, doesn't it? Your wife is doubting if you can love your kid appropriately. She's doubting it because she understands he's a victim, and he's a victim who only just recently started dealing with this issue. It's all fresh, it's all new at the time of the documentary. And Wade says when he finally saw his kid at 7 years old, the age that Michael Jackson started abusing him, he couldn't believe it, how young his son looked, what a baby he was. And then remembering everything that Michael Jackson did to him when he was that age and how that just fucked him all up. Yeah, but poor Michael Jackson, his legacy. Fuck that dude. He was a pill-popping drunk who had a Dr. Feelgood on call to give him propofol. He had several boys come forward and accuse him publicly. And what happened to them? They were treated like they were the monsters, or their parents were the monsters just trying to fucking sue Michael Jackson and get his fucking money. A lot of people would rather take a payout than go to court because they feel shame. A lot of parents don't want their kids to have to go to court and have to tell their story over and over and over and over again and relive that trauma over and over and over again. And maybe would it just be easier to take the money and fucking run and just be done with this? You know, do we not believe that Cassie was beat and assaulted by Diddy because she got paid off $30 million? We believe her. And she made out like a fat fucking rat. The dudes that Michael Jackson, the parents that Michael Jackson paid off, yeah, I think one of them got like 90 grand or something like that, or 100 grand or something like that. And that's just so their kid wouldn't have to go to court and relive their fucking trauma over and over and over. So these people who actually needed money took the money and didn't make their kids go through that because they knew what would happen to their kids, because they knew Michael Jackson's PR machine would get right on that. And they did. And they did. And I think everybody forgets that the first time Michael Jackson was accused, his sister LaToya said it was true. And she said it a couple of times that it was true. I think what happened, she changed her tune because the family said, keep saying that shit, bitch. You will be cut the fuck off. Done. Whatever legacy, whatever money the Jackson name leaves behind, you will get none of it if you keep this shit up with your mouth. Because LaToya used to talk mad shit about her family. She used to talk mad shit about her father. Yeah, mad shit. And then one day she just stopped talking about her family. But she did say that Michael Jackson was abusing children. Go back and find the archives for it, you know? Go back. And then all of a sudden she stopped. And I guarantee it had to do with money. Guarantee her family just threatened her. Guaranteed. So the fact that you think Michael Jackson isn't guilty because those parents took some money and ran is crazy and wild to me. The fact that he paid them at all is what should prove his fucking guilt. Because he could have said, I'm not giving you fucking anything. This is going to court because I'm clearing my fucking name. I'm innocent. You're not going to put my name out there and make me look like I'm a fucking pederast when I'm fucking innocent. I'm trying to help fucking kids and you're over here trying to fucking extort me? But he didn't do that. He paid them off, which actually makes him look guilty. It doesn't make them look like they're liars. It makes him look guilty. Because he was. You see? That's how that works. That's why Diddy so easily fucking paid Cassie off. Because she knew everything. And he didn't want her fucking spilling them beans. So he just said, go on, take the money and run. But we all saw the video, right? We all saw the video of him kicking the shit out of her at an elevator. And, she, fight, flight, or freeze. And she went straight into freeze and just started protecting her fucking body from his fucking kicks. Yeah, we saw that. We all saw that with our eyes. Just like we're seeing things in the Epstein files, we're reading names in the Epstein files. Yeah, I heard Parnas say that 4 of the names that Ro Khanna mentioned, free and clear. I find that a little suspicious too. I find that a little suspicious. I find it suspicious, especially since it has been said to name all the names could bring governments down, including ours. And suddenly, Ro Khanna, out of the 6 names that he named, only 2, the other 4, they're good. Meanwhile, people are being arrested in other countries, they're being investigated, motherfuckers are stepping down, but Ro Khanna got it wrong. I don't think so. I don't think he did get it wrong. I think there's going to be a lot of that going on too. Because a lot of these people are really powerful. That is really true. Like Bill Clinton, he's another one everybody seems to be hands off. Don't, He's named like 1,500 times, but don't. Yeah, I'm going to go find that Frontline documentary with the women who accused him of rape while he was governor, so you can all watch it for yourself. And I don't have to look up Leaving Neverland. It's called Leaving Neverland. Go watch it. Stop disrespecting his victims, because that's what you're doing. You're disrespecting his victims. His music ain't that fucking good either. Sorry, it ain't. He was just a fucking cute kid, singing music, dancing around, and everybody thought, he's so fucking cute. And then he got older, his music fucking sucked after The Wall. No, Thriller. After Thriller, everything fucking sucked after Thriller. So, Off the Wall and Thriller, they were alright. I've never re-listened to them as an adult, even before I knew he was a for sure pederast. Because he isn't that, it's really not. People have convinced yourselves that it's something magical and amazing, and it's just average bitch music. It's nothing major. So, Thriller was cool because of the video, not because of the song. Really, most of his music was cool, not because of the music, but because of the videos he made. Because he went all out. He went big when he made videos. But otherwise, he's basic, as far as I'm concerned. And Bill Clinton, 1,500 times named. Yeah. He's guilty too. What is this weird need to hang on to people and defend them when they have multiple victims? He's hanging around a dude who was trafficking children, and his name is mentioned 1,500 times. Michael Jackson was friends with this dude who was trafficking children, and Michael Jackson has been accused several times for being a pederast. There's a documentary with 2 credible victims telling their story. There's a documentary with 4 credible women telling their story about Bill Clinton. There is Jennifer Flowers and Paula, whatever her name is. Monica Lewinsky, who was 22 and he was 49. That's a real imbalance of power. He was her boss. He was the president, the most powerful man in the country, one of the most powerful people on earth. And she's an intern. Seems fair. Seems like she had just as much control in that relationship, doesn't it? Get the fuck out of here. The fuck is a 40? What? You were married. You had a kid. and you're fucking around with some 22-year-old in the Oval Office at 49 years old. You're supposed to be the fucking president. You can't keep it in your fucking pants. Get the fuck out of here with Bill Clinton. Even if he didn't do anything on that fucking island, which I highly doubt is not true, he's guilty of being a rapist. Because those 4 women aren't fucking lying. Just like Wade and the other dude isn't fucking lying about fucking Michael Jackson either. So let's all move on. And go learn some shit about fucking Peter Pan too. He's a fucking monster. Fucking killing lost boys when they get too old. What? This is your hero. A being who wants to be a kid forever, that he fucking literally kidnaps kids to keep until they get too old, and then he kills them. The boys specifically. Yeah, I live in the upside down.